Hello friends. What does it truly mean to be born on September 25th? Is it just a date on the calendar, or is it a cosmic signature written across your soul, whispering stories of love, ambition, and destiny? Let's unfold the layers of your birthday and dive into a journey that weaves astrology, numerology, ancient traditions, and even the secret wisdom of trees, stones, and flowers. The core zodiac identity, Libra on September 25th. Being born on September 25th places you within the glowing constellation of Libra, a sign revered for its eternal pursuit of balance, fairness, and beauty. Yet your identity is far from simple. While all Libras carry the Venusian influence of love, aesthetics, and diplomacy, your birth date intertwines this with the mystical vibration of the number 7, derived from the digits of your day, 2 and 5. This number adds layers of depth, giving you a rare dual nature: the graceful socialite who easily navigates human interactions, and the quiet seeker who looks for wisdom in silence. You live both as a diplomat and a philosopher, a person of harmony outwardly, yet of constant questioning inwardly. What sets you apart from other Libras is the way you perceive the world. You don't just look for beauty on the surface, you instinctively search for the meaning behind it. A painting, for instance, does not capture your admiration simply for its colors or form. Instead, you wonder about the artist's intention, the history behind the canvas, and the emotions it was meant to stir. This gift makes you not only a lover of art but also an interpreter of its secret language. In conversations, people often sense you listening more deeply than others. They may even pause mid-sentence, realizing that your eyes don't just see them, you understand them. Walking into a crowded room, you don't rush to the center of attention, nor do you hide in a corner. Instead, you act like an observer who instinctively maps the energy, sensing who feels uneasy, who is dominating, who longs to be heard. Without even planning it, you become the harmonizer, arranging invisible scales until balance is restored. Your smile may comfort one person, your measured words may soothe another, and before long, the environment shifts because of your subtle influence. Others might not even realize how much calmer they feel simply because you were present. Yet beneath this graceful exterior, you carry a restless inner dialogue. You ask yourself questions that some spend lifetimes avoiding. What is the real purpose of our actions? Why do people repeat mistakes? What is truth beyond opinion? These questions don't torment you, they guide you. The 7's influence ensures you are never satisfied with shallow answers. You read between the lines, whether it's a friend's excuse, a politician's speech, or even your own desires. This tendency can make you seem skeptical at times, but it is really your way of carving through illusions to find clarity. Still, this constant search for meaning can pull you in two directions. On one hand, your Libra side craves beauty, ease, and companionship. On the other, your numerological destiny drives you toward solitude, spiritual study, and self-discovery. You may often feel torn between attending a glamorous event and retreating with a book that unlocks cosmic truths. Both are essential to you, and neither should be denied. The secret is to integrate them, to bring wisdom into society and grace into introspection. Another distinctive feature of your September 25th identity is your relationship with justice. For you, fairness is not a concept to debate, it is a duty you live by. You sense injustice quickly, sometimes before others even notice it. In childhood, you may have defended classmates from bullies, unable to watch unfair treatment without stepping in. As an adult, this evolves into advocacy, whether formally through law, diplomacy, or teaching, or informally through everyday acts of kindness where you ensure no one is overlooked. Your ruling planet Venus blesses you with natural charm. People often describe you as attractive, even if your beauty doesn't follow traditional standards, because your aura itself radiates harmony. It's not only in your physical features but in the way you move, speak, and carry yourself. You tend to choose clothes that are elegant yet never aggressive, colors that reflect balance, and surroundings that reflect taste. Your home is rarely chaotic. It is arranged like a sanctuary, where anyone who enters feels embraced by calm. Yet you are not without struggle. Libra's scales can sometimes tilt wildly. When faced with choices, you may overanalyze, weighing every side until the moment for decision has passed. This indecision doesn't come from weakness but from your strong desire not to create imbalance. Still, this tendency can frustrate both you and others. Learning to trust your intuition, an area strengthened by your numerological 7, can help you overcome this. Your inner voice is often more accurate than the endless debates in your mind. In friendships and relationships, your Libra core identity makes you a mediator. But beyond this role, your birth date ensures you are more than just a social butterfly, you are a guide. You may not always realize it, but others look to you for wisdom as much as they look to you for companionship. Your calm presence, combined with your probing mind, makes people feel both safe and inspired when you are around. Ultimately, the core of your September 25th Libra identity is about weaving together two worlds. You are the artist who paints with both colors and questions. You are the diplomat who not only calms disputes but also wonders why disputes exist in the first place. You are the lover of harmony who also knows that true peace can only be achieved by daring to face uncomfortable truths. This dual nature makes you complex, magnetic, and unforgettable. And now, a little side note. If you'd like to support the channel, there's a thanks button right under this video, or through the donation alerts link in the description. Your support truly helps me keep creating. And of course, if you enjoy the content, please leave a like and subscribe so you won't miss what's coming next. Thank you so much for being here. Now, let's continue. Love romance. Love for someone born on September 25th is rarely casual. While many people chase romance for thrill or comfort, you approach it as both a divine connection and an intellectual exchange. Yes, physical attraction matters to you, but it is never enough by itself. What captures your heart is the spark of mind meeting mind, soul recognizing soul. You fall in love with conversations that last until dawn, with gestures that reveal thoughtfulness, with the way someone sees the world differently and challenges you to expand your perspective. Romantically, you are magnetic because of your Venusian charm. People notice the way you carry yourself, how you make eye contact, how you listen as though no one else exists in the room. There is an elegance in the way you move, a quiet passion in the way you speak, and a sincerity in the way you make others feel valued. Love, for you, is not just about passion, it is about creating an atmosphere where two people can be fully themselves without fear of judgment. However, your pursuit of harmony often comes at a cost. You want so much to keep peace that you sometimes silence your own needs. In a relationship, this can lead to imbalance, where you give endlessly but receive little. Your challenge is to realize that love thrives not in avoiding conflict, but in facing it with honesty and tenderness. Speaking your truth does not destroy love, it deepens it. When you learn this, you become not only a devoted partner but also an equal one. Marriage, for you, is not merely a contract but a sacred partnership. You thrive when your spouse understands your duality, your need for companionship and your equally strong need for solitude. A partner who clings too tightly will smother you, while one who respects your independence will help your love grow stronger. You are happiest with someone who sees both your social, charming side and your introspective, questioning side, and embraces them equally. Sexuality, influenced by Venus, is a profound experience for you. You view intimacy as a form of art, where touch, trust, and passion blend into something almost spiritual. For you, sex is never purely physical. It is an exchange of energy, a wordless dialogue between two souls. You approach it with creativity and sensitivity, always seeking to create not just pleasure but also connection. Partners often describe the experience with you as unforgettable, not only because of passion but because of the depth of emotional closeness you bring into the act. Yet your romantic path is not without its shadows. Sometimes you idealize love, placing your partner on a pedestal, only to feel disillusioned when reality shows its imperfections. At other times, you may fear confrontation so much that you swallow resentment, leading to quiet dissatisfaction. Your growth in love lies in learning that harmony is not the absence of differences but the ability to embrace them. Your best romantic matches are those who stimulate both your heart and your intellect. Air signs like Gemini and Aquarius can give you the companionship and mental spark you crave. Fire signs like Leo can bring passion and adventure, keeping your love life vibrant. With earth signs like Capricorn, you may face challenges in emotional expression, yet if balanced, they can ground your dreams. With water signs like Cancer or Scorpio, the connection can be deeply emotional, though at times overwhelming. For you, love is both the sweetest joy and the most profound teacher. It teaches you patience, honesty, compromise, and above all, the courage to reveal your true self. Your destiny in romance is not simply to find a partner but to experience love as a path to spiritual growth. When you give love authentically and allow yourself to receive it in equal measure, you discover that the greatest harmony of all is found not in avoiding storms but in dancing together through the rain. Friendship social life. For those born on September 25th, friendship is not a passing convenience or a light-hearted distraction, it is one of the pillars of your life. Your Libra essence makes you deeply invested in creating meaningful connections, and your presence in someone's life often feels like a gift they didn't know they needed. You are the friend who remembers birthdays without needing a reminder, who senses when someone is struggling even before they speak a word, and who shows up with empathy and solutions rather than judgment. Your natural fairness becomes a guiding principle in your social circle, and many turn to you when conflicts arise because they trust that you will see both sides without favoritism. Your approach to friendship is not superficial. You are not the type who collects dozens of acquaintances simply to feel popular or connected. Instead, you build your circle with intention, preferring a handful of deep, enduring bonds over a sea of shallow interactions. You thrive in relationships where there is true reciprocity, where your loyalty and generosity are mirrored by the other person's effort and care. However, this very quality also exposes your vulnerability. Your kindness can attract people who take more than they give. These takers may lean on your wisdom, your time, and your compassion without ever considering how to refill your emotional well. The hidden truth of your social life is that you crave balance in friendships just as much as in romantic relationships. You want laughter, warmth, and camaraderie, but you also need to feel seen, supported, and valued in return. When you don't receive this, you can feel quietly drained, carrying a heaviness that others rarely notice because you rarely complain. This is why your greatest friendships are built with those who understand the importance of give and take, friends who notice when you are the one who needs encouragement, who celebrate your victories as sincerely as you celebrate theirs, and who remind you that you are just as deserving of care as anyone else. In group settings, you often become the natural mediator. If two friends argue, you are the one both sides trust to listen without bias and to find common ground that others overlooked. This is not something you consciously strive for, it is simply the way you are wired. People often feel calmer in your presence, less inclined to let emotions spiral, because you bring an invisible balance to the atmosphere. Some may even joke that you are the glue, holding groups together, but beneath the humor lies truth. Without your presence, dynamics can shift and harmony may dissolve. Your social charm also makes you adaptable. You can move gracefully between circles of artists, intellectuals, business leaders, or spiritual seekers because your natural curiosity and your respect for different perspectives allow you to connect across boundaries. You are rarely judgmental, preferring instead to listen and learn before forming an opinion. This makes you not only a beloved friend but also a bridge between worlds, often introducing people who would otherwise never have met and helping them discover common ground. Despite this, solitude is also essential for you. Your numerological 7 influence means that while you thrive in social environments, you also require time alone to recharge. Unlike some Libras who constantly crave interaction, you have moments where silence, reflection, or a quiet walk in nature feels more nourishing than any party or gathering. This can confuse friends who are used to your vibrant social energy, but those who truly understand you respect these rhythms. They know that when you retreat, it is not rejection but restoration. As you grow older, your friendships often evolve into profound partnerships of wisdom. You are not the friend people call only for fun or distraction. You are the one they seek for advice during life's turning points. Whether it's a career decision, a relationship challenge, or a spiritual question, they know you will respond with honesty wrapped in kindness, never imposing but always guiding. This makes your friendships deeply impactful, often shaping the lives of others in ways they remember for decades. Your social life, therefore, is both a gift and a responsibility. It gives you the joy of companionship and the chance to share your compassion, but it also requires you to set boundaries so that your generous heart is not depleted. When you choose friends who honor you as much as you honor them, you create a circle that feels less like a network and more like a family, a constellation of souls who walk through life alongside you, balanced in love, loyalty, and mutual respect. Business career. In the professional world, being born on September 25th gives you a unique blend of charm, intellect, and intuition that is rare to find. You are both strategist and diplomat, able to see the bigger picture while also managing delicate details with care. Colleagues often remark on your ability to calm tense situations, to reframe problems in ways that others hadn't considered, and to lead without making others feel overshadowed. You bring balance into environments where competition, stress, and ambition often threaten harmony. You shine in roles that require negotiation, creativity, or the guidance of others toward common ground. Law, diplomacy, and counseling are natural fits for you because they allow you to combine fairness with communication skills. In the arts and design, your Venusian eye for beauty helps you craft visions that resonate deeply with people. Whether you are creating a visual masterpiece, designing a space, or developing a brand, you have a gift for making the world more aesthetically pleasing while still keeping it functional and meaningful. Yet your career path is not purely practical. The numerological 7 that marks your birth date nudges you toward work that also satisfies your deeper quest for truth. Professions involving research, psychology, spirituality, or philosophy may call to you at unexpected moments in your life. You may start in a traditional career but feel an inner pull toward something that engages your intuition and your desire to explore what lies beneath the surface. It is not unusual for you to live with one foot in the material world, earning stability, reputation, and success, and the other foot in the metaphysical world, studying the unseen forces that guide existence. Your greatest professional challenge lies in decision-making. Libras are famous for weighing options endlessly, and with your specific birth date, this tendency is even stronger. You see every angle of a problem, every possible outcome, every potential consequence. While this makes you a thoughtful strategist, it can also delay action, causing opportunities to slip away. The key to unlocking your success lies in trusting your intuition. That inner voice you sometimes dismiss is often far more accurate than the endless debates in your head. Once you learn to listen to it, you move forward with both confidence and clarity. In the workplace, you are not driven solely by ambition or wealth. You crave a sense of purpose, a feeling that your work contributes to something larger than yourself. This is why environments that are cutthroat, overly competitive, or devoid of meaning can quickly drain you. You are happiest when your career allows you to express creativity, build relationships, and foster harmony while still leaving room for personal growth. Leadership often finds you, even when you don't seek it. You may be placed in charge of teams because of your natural ability to keep people motivated and working together. Unlike authoritarian leaders, you guide through respect and persuasion rather than control. People follow you not because they fear you, but because they trust you. Your fairness and ability to recognize everyone's contributions make you the kind of leader who inspires loyalty. Financially, you are careful rather than reckless. You enjoy comfort and beauty, nice surroundings, good food, quality experiences, but you rarely chase money for its own sake. You view wealth as a tool to create balance, stability, and the ability to enjoy life's finer things, not as the ultimate goal. However, your indecision can sometimes slow financial growth, as hesitation may prevent you from seizing profitable opportunities. Learning to act decisively when your intuition says yes can significantly increase your success. As your career unfolds, you may find yourself transitioning between different paths, weaving together practicality and spirituality, logic and intuition, art and service. What remains constant is your gift for making environments more harmonious, for creating connections where others see division, and for finding beauty in the spaces where work meets purpose. Ultimately, your professional life is not just about building a career, it is about building a legacy of fairness, creativity, and wisdom that continues to inspire long after the tasks of the day are done. The dark sides. Every light, no matter how radiant, casts a shadow, and for those born on September 25th, the shadow is as intricate as the brilliance. At first glance, you appear endlessly balanced, calm, and diplomatic, a person who thrives in the art of compromise and who can find common ground where none seems to exist. Yet beneath this polished exterior lies the danger of self-erasure. You care so deeply about harmony that you may sacrifice your own needs, burying your authentic voice beneath layers of smiles and agreeable nods. You can slip into the habit of saying yes when you mean no, of offering peace when what you crave is truth, of wearing a mask of serenity while an inner storm rages quietly inside. This tendency makes you a master of appearances. To the outside world, you may seem unshakably stable, the one who never falters, never lets emotions run wild, never loses control. But within, the pressure builds. Every unspoken frustration, every silenced opinion, every swallowed need becomes a weight you carry alone. At times, this leads to overthinking, an endless circling of what-ifs that drowns you in indecision. You analyze every choice until the moment of action passes, leaving you with regret and self-doubt. This is the ghost of Libra's indecisiveness, magnified by your birth date's pull toward deep contemplation. Escapism can also become your quiet refuge. When reality feels overwhelming, you might disappear into daydreams, books, fantasies, or even unhealthy distractions that allow you to avoid confrontation. Instead of addressing problems directly, you drift into a softer world where you imagine balance rather than build it. While imagination is a gift, when misused, it becomes a hiding place that prevents growth. Another shadow is the temptation to use charm as a shield. Your charisma is undeniable, and people are often swayed by your grace, your eloquence, your ability to make them feel special. But when wielded carelessly, this charm can slip into manipulation. You may present the version of yourself that others want to see, bending truth for the sake of approval, or subtly influencing people to maintain peace rather than revealing your real feelings. At your lowest, you risk confusing diplomacy with dishonesty, convincing yourself that small lies preserve harmony when, in truth, they erode authenticity. Detachment is another risk. When faced with too much conflict, too many demands, or too much pressure, you may retreat entirely. Rather than fighting for balance, you shut down, withdrawing emotionally, leaving others bewildered by your sudden coldness. This is not cruelty but self-protection, a wall you build when you feel too vulnerable. However, over time, it can distance you from the very relationships you value most. Your healing path lies not in denying these shadows but in embracing them. You must learn that conflict, though uncomfortable, is not the enemy of harmony. True balance is not the absence of storms, it is the strength to stand steady in the rain, to let the winds test you without knocking you down. Speaking your truth may shake the scales in the moment, but it ultimately creates deeper, more authentic equilibrium. By facing challenges head-on, by allowing yourself to be imperfect, by daring to say no when necessary, you transform your shadows into sources of strength. When you recognize that your desire for peace does not require the death of your voice, you liberate yourself. You begin to understand that balance is not about pleasing everyone else, it is about honoring yourself as much as you honor others. Your darkness becomes your teacher, reminding you that light shines brightest when it has confronted the depths of shadow. Life goals. Spiritual mission. Your soul's mission, written in the stars and echoed in the numbers of your birth, is clear. You are here to find truth and bring harmony, not just to the relationships that weave through your life, but within your own inner landscape. This is no small calling. It requires courage, wisdom, and the willingness to walk between worlds, between the external demands of society and the inner voice of the soul, between beauty as an aesthetic and beauty as a moral truth, between the longing for companionship and the need for solitude. At your essence, you are a teacher, though you may not always stand in classrooms or hold titles that announce it. You teach through example, through the grace of your presence, through the way you navigate challenges with poise. People watch you and learn what fairness looks like, what kindness feels like, what authenticity sounds like when spoken aloud. You may never know the extent of your influence because your lessons are subtle, woven into everyday interactions, but your ability to inspire is undeniable. Your destiny is intimately tied to both love and wisdom. Love is not simply romance for you, it is a philosophy, a guiding principle. You are here to demonstrate that love is more than passion or convenience. It is a force that heals, that creates balance, that uplifts rather than consumes. Your relationships become mirrors of your spiritual growth, teaching you patience, vulnerability, and the courage to express truth even when it trembles in your throat. Wisdom is your other great companion. The vibration of the number 7 ensures that you are not satisfied with surface explanations. You crave knowledge that penetrates deeper, into psychology, philosophy, spirituality, and the mysteries of existence. This thirst for understanding can lead you toward paths of healing, mentoring, or artistic creation. You may become a counselor who guides others through emotional storms, an artist whose work opens hearts, or a writer whose words illuminate hidden truths. Whatever form it takes, your mission is to combine intellect with compassion, knowledge with heart. You are also called to embody authenticity. The world is full of illusions, appearances mistaken for reality, beauty mistaken for worth, wealth mistaken for success. Yet you are here to show that true beauty is born from fairness, justice, and truth. Your life becomes a message that authenticity, no matter how imperfect, is more powerful than any mask. When you live this truth, you inspire others to drop their disguises and embrace who they truly are. Some born on this date feel the call of service. They become healers, not only in the medical sense but in the emotional and spiritual sense. People who mend broken hearts, soothe restless minds, or create spaces of peace in a chaotic world. Others find their mission in art, pouring their insights into music, writing, painting, or design, offering the world beauty that carries meaning. Still others become mentors, guiding the next generation toward integrity and balance. Your ultimate life goal is integration, to unite your Libra longing for external harmony with your inner quest for truth. This means learning not to fear conflict but to use it as a path to deeper understanding, learning not to avoid solitude but to embrace it as fuel for your wisdom, learning not to chase perfection but to celebrate the beauty of imperfection. When you align your actions with your inner truth, you fulfill your mission and become a beacon of what it means to live authentically. Spiritually, your path is about balance, not the fragile balance of a tightrope walker terrified of falling, but the resilient balance of a tree that bends with the wind yet never breaks. You are here to remind others that life is not about avoiding storms, but about finding grace within them. Your mission is to live so fully, so honestly, so harmoniously that others feel permission to do the same. When you embrace both your love and your wisdom, your compassion and your truth, your light and your shadow, you step into your full destiny. And in doing so, you leave behind not just accomplishments or memories, but a legacy of authenticity and harmony that ripples through the lives of all you touch. Compatibility with other zodiac signs. For those born on September 25th, compatibility is not merely a question of whether two people can get along. For you, it is a dance of energy, intellect, and soul. Because you are a Libra marked by Venus and infused with the numerological vibration of 7, your connections run deeper than casual attraction. You need both harmony and growth, balance and discovery, companionship and space. This unique combination makes your compatibility with other signs both fascinating and complex. With Gemini, the connection feels effortless. The air element you share creates instant understanding. Conversations flow like music, and together you can spend hours exploring ideas, laughing over the smallest details, or dreaming about future adventures. Gemini stimulates your mind, keeping you curious, while you bring them grounding through your calm diplomacy. In this partnership, there is constant renewal. Gemini never lets you grow bored, and you give them the stability they sometimes lack. Love between you is like an eternal spring, refreshing, lively, and endlessly evolving. With Aquarius, the match is equally profound, though slightly different in flavor. Aquarius brings innovation and vision to the relationship, pulling you into new territories of thought and experience. You, in turn, provide the emotional balance and understanding that Aquarius sometimes overlooks in their pursuit of grand ideas. Together, you form a partnership that is both intellectually stimulating and emotionally supportive. You respect Aquarius's independence, and they respect your need for fairness. The relationship becomes a union of vision and harmony, where the two of you not only grow as individuals but often inspire change in the world around you. Leo brings fire to your life, and the chemistry can be breathtaking. Where you bring elegance, Leo brings passion. Where you seek balance, Leo offers boldness. This pairing is magnetic because each of you gives the other something they secretly crave. You temper Leo's intensity with your calm, and Leo encourages you to step out of indecision with their decisiveness. Together, you are glamorous, dynamic, and often admired by others as the power couple. The danger here is pride. If Leo feels unappreciated or if you feel overshadowed, clashes may arise. Yet when both of you honor each other's strengths, the relationship glows with warmth and loyalty. Sagittarius is another exciting match. Their adventurous spirit calls to your curiosity, pulling you out of routine and into a world of discovery. With Sagittarius, you learn to let go of overthinking and embrace spontaneity. They remind you that sometimes the answer is not found in endless weighing of choices but in taking a leap. In return, you give Sagittarius the grounding and emotional stability they often lack, showing them the beauty of commitment without confining their freedom. The relationship is filled with laughter, exploration, and a sense of shared growth. Not all matches are so easy, however. With Cancer, the connection can be challenging. Cancer feels deeply, often more deeply than you are prepared to handle. Their moods, their emotional needs, their desire for constant reassurance can weigh heavily on your natural desire for balance. You may find yourself retreating into silence just to avoid the tidal waves of their feelings, while they interpret your withdrawal as rejection. This pairing can work if both commit to patience, if you learn to embrace emotion rather than fear it, and if Cancer learns to give you space without guilt, but it requires effort from both sides. Capricorn presents another test. Their rigidity and determination often clash with your flexibility and need for balance. Capricorn sees the world through rules and structures, while you see it through possibilities and compromise. They may accuse you of indecision, while you may see them as overly controlling. And yet, if respect is cultivated, this pairing can become powerful. Capricorn teaches you discipline, persistence, and the value of long-term vision, while you show them the importance of grace, diplomacy, and beauty in daily life. Still, it is not the easiest union. It requires patience, understanding, and compromise from both. Scorpio is perhaps the most intense of your challenging matches. With them, you find yourself in a battlefield of wills. Scorpio's passion and desire for control can ignite your admiration and attraction, but it also threatens your balance. They demand emotional depth and complete commitment, sometimes pressing you harder than you are comfortable with. You, in turn, may frustrate them with your hesitation to dive into extremes. Yet beneath the struggle lies a magnetic connection. If trust is built, this relationship can be transformative, pushing both of you to grow beyond your limits. Without trust, however, it can spiral into power struggles that leave you drained. And then there is Pisces, a surprising match. On the surface, you seem worlds apart. You, with your logical balance and social grace, and Pisces, with their dreamy nature and shifting emotions. Yet, when both of you are open, a spiritual connection blossoms. Pisces teaches you the art of surrender, the beauty of compassion unbound by reason. You, in turn, give Pisces structure and grounding, helping them bring their visions into reality. Together, you create a love that is tender, imaginative, and spiritually uplifting. It is not always easy, for Pisces may frustrate you with their lack of clarity, and you may frustrate them with your rational approach, but when you choose to learn from each other, the relationship becomes magical. Ultimately, your compatibility is not about perfection but about balance. You thrive with those who stimulate both your mind and your heart, who challenge you but also respect your need for harmony. Each sign offers lessons, each connection brings growth, and each relationship reflects a mirror of your soul's journey. Numerology of September 25th. The date of September 25th carries the sacred vibration of the number 7, derived from the sum of 2 and 5. This number is one of the most mystical in numerology, a symbol of wisdom, spirituality, and the eternal quest for truth. For you, it weaves into your Libra identity and shapes your inner world in profound ways. 7 is the number of seekers, of those who look beyond appearances to uncover the essence of life. It gifts you with a natural curiosity about mysteries, why people act as they do, what forces guide destiny, what truths hide beneath the surface of daily existence. You may find yourself drawn to philosophy, metaphysics, spirituality, or even science that explores the unseen. Dreams may feel more vivid to you than to others, carrying symbolic messages that your intuition interprets with uncanny accuracy. You are not easily fooled by surface appearances, because you instinctively sense there is always more to the story. This number also blesses you with intuition. You may experience sudden hunches that prove correct, flashes of insight that guide you when logic fails, or subtle feelings that something is right or wrong even when no evidence exists. At times, this gift can feel like a burden, as though you carry knowledge others cannot see. But when you learn to trust it, it becomes your compass, guiding you through indecision and showing you the path that aligns with your soul. Yet 7 also carries the energy of solitude. There will be periods in your life when you feel compelled to step away from society, from noise, from even your closest relationships. These cycles are not a sign of weakness but a necessity for your growth. In solitude, you process, you recharge, you explore the depths of your mind and spirit. You return from these times not diminished, but brighter, carrying wisdom and insights that others desperately need. Friends and loved ones may not always understand why you retreat, but those who truly know you will respect these cycles as part of your path. The shadow of 7 is detachment. At times, you may withdraw too deeply, losing touch with the material world in pursuit of spiritual answers. You may become overly critical, skeptical, or cynical if you feel others are not seeking truth as earnestly as you are. Learning balance is crucial, honoring your need for wisdom while also embracing the joys of daily life. 7 also brings with it a destiny of teaching and guiding. Whether through art, words, healing, or example, you are meant to share the wisdom you gather in your inner journeys. You are not only a seeker, but also a transmitter of knowledge, turning your personal discoveries into lessons that uplift others. In essence, the numerology of September 25th tells a story of a soul both social and solitary, rational and mystical, grounded in fairness yet lifted by the wings of intuition. It reveals why your life feels like a walk between worlds, between the visible and invisible, the known and the mysterious. And it promises that when you embrace both sides of your nature, you become a beacon of wisdom, harmony, and authenticity. Druid Horoscope, the Olive Tree. According to the ancient Celtic tree calendar, those born around September 25th are guided by the sacred olive tree. To the Druids, trees were not just plants, but living beings with spirits, wisdom, and lessons for humanity. The olive tree, in particular, held a reputation as a symbol of peace, wisdom, and healing, and those who carry its influence are believed to embody these qualities in both their outer life and inner character. Like the olive itself, you are a figure of quiet strength. This tree can thrive in dry, rocky soil where little else survives, and in the same way, you have an uncanny resilience. Even when life presents challenges, scarcity, or emotional droughts, you endure with grace. Others may falter under pressure, but you somehow manage to remain standing, your roots deep, your branches reaching for the light. People look at you and see calm, but beneath that calm lies the strength of someone who knows how to withstand adversity without losing their essence. You symbolize nourishment. Just as the olive tree provides fruit and oil that sustain life, you offer emotional and spiritual nourishment to those around you. Friends, family, and even strangers sense that they can come to you for comfort, for guidance, for relief from their burdens. Without even trying, you become a safe harbor where others can lay down their troubles. And though this can be heavy at times, it is part of your soul's gift. To provide shade in the scorching heat of conflict, to be the soothing balm in a world that often burns with unrest. The olive tree is also a bridge between opposites. In history, the olive branch has been offered as a sign of peace, an invitation to end conflict and embrace unity. In your life, you often find yourself in this exact role. Whether it is in your family, your friendships, or even professional settings, you are the mediator who softens hard words, the negotiator who reveals the middle ground, the healer who gently encourages reconciliation. Where others see only division, you see the possibility of light. This is not just a talent but a calling, part of your spiritual identity. Wisdom flows through you in subtle ways. Olive people are not loud teachers or forceful preachers. Instead, your wisdom emerges through presence, through the way you live, through the balance you quietly maintain. Others observe you and feel calmer, more centered, more capable of dealing with their own problems. You teach not through speeches, but through example. Healing is another sacred aspect of your olive tree nature. You are often drawn, whether consciously or unconsciously, to roles where you can mend hearts, mend relationships, mend the invisible cracks in the human spirit. Some born under this tree become literal healers, doctors, therapists, herbalists, while others heal through art, through music, through friendship, or through simple acts of kindness. Healing is not just something you do, it is part of who you are. At times, your gift can feel like a burden. Because you are naturally peaceful and empathetic, others may place their struggles on your shoulders, assuming you will always carry them. The danger is that you may forget your own needs, pouring your energy into others until you are drained. The lesson of the olive tree is that even the most generous branches must rest, that healing the world begins with nurturing your own roots. Your ultimate role is to be a bringer of unity. Where there is division, you bring light. Where there is tension, you bring calm. Where there is pain, you bring comfort. This is not a small task, but it is the legacy of the olive tree, to live as a symbol of resilience, wisdom, and peace in a world that desperately needs all three. Vedic astrology influence. In the wisdom of Vedic astrology, which traces its roots back thousands of years in India, the time of late September often falls under either Uttara Falguni Nakshatra or Asta Nakshatra, depending on the exact year, time, and location of your birth. Both of these lunar constellations, or nakshatras, carry profound themes of service, artistry, and healing. To be born under their influence is to carry a destiny intertwined with light, balance, and the responsibility of helping others rise. Uttara Falguni is known as the star of patronage. Its energy is about generosity, partnership, and support. If this nakshatra influences your birth, you are someone who naturally forms alliances, who builds networks of trust, who uses your gifts to uplift others. You are likely to feel drawn toward causes that create fairness or ease suffering, and your life becomes a testament to loyalty, responsibility, and service. This aligns beautifully with your Libra nature, deepening your role as a diplomat, mediator, and protector of harmony. Asta, on the other hand, is the hand nakshatra, symbolizing skill, dexterity, and the ability to manifest through action. If this nakshatra touches your chart, you are gifted with creativity, adaptability, and the power to bring ideas into reality. You may excel in craftsmanship, design, writing, or any pursuit where your hands transform the intangible into something tangible. At the same time, Asta carries healing qualities, hands that soothe, comfort, and mend. This reflects your ability to bring peace not only with words but with tangible acts of care. The planetary rulers around your date add even greater depth. Venus, or Shukra in Vedic terms, blesses you with charm, beauty, and artistic inclinations. It is Venus that makes you magnetic in social settings, able to draw others into your orbit with elegance and grace. It is also Venus that fuels your love for aesthetics, for creating beauty in both your environment and your relationships. Mercury, active during this time as well, gifts you intellect, communication skills, and adaptability. This planetary influence sharpens your ability to express yourself clearly, to persuade, and to negotiate. Combined with Venus, it makes you not only charming but also articulate, capable of wrapping deep ideas in words that flow like poetry. It also enhances your curiosity, your desire to learn, and your gift for bridging differences through thoughtful dialogue. Your dharma, your life duty, in Vedic understanding, revolves around balancing karma. You are here to heal old wounds, many of which are tied to relationships, both your own and those around you. Perhaps in past lives, imbalances were left unresolved, promises unfulfilled, or conflicts left burning. In this life, you carry the responsibility of bringing closure, fairness, and healing. This does not mean you are destined for suffering. Rather, it means your soul has chosen a path where reconciliation, justice, and compassion are your greatest teachers and tools. Part of your mission is also to master the art of giving and receiving love. You are naturally generous, often willing to sacrifice for others, but Vedic astrology reminds you that your path is not about martyrdom. Instead, it is about balance, knowing when to offer support and when to step back, when to nurture others and when to allow yourself to be nurtured. When you find this equilibrium, your relationships blossom into sacred spaces of growth and joy. You are also seen in Vedic tradition as someone who brings light into others' lives, often at the cost of your own rest. People may seek you out for guidance, for comfort, for wisdom, and you may feel compelled to always be available. The challenge lies in remembering that your light shines brightest when you care for yourself as well. Without tending your own flame, the world cannot benefit from your glow. Ultimately, the Vedic influence on your birth date paints a picture of a soul born to harmonize karma, to create beauty, and to serve through healing and artistry. You are both a creator and a nurturer, a communicator and a seeker, someone whose very presence makes the world gentler and more balanced. Your life is not merely about personal success, it is about lifting others, guiding them, and leaving behind a legacy of wisdom and peace that echoes long after you are gone. Flower Horoscope, the Morning Glory. Your flower is the morning glory, a blossom that carries with it a poetic truth about life itself. The morning glory unfurls its delicate petals in the earliest hours of dawn, drinking in the soft light of the rising sun, only to fade as the day advances. Its beauty is breathtaking yet temporary, a reminder carved into nature's design that all things are fleeting. For those born on September 25th, this flower becomes not merely a symbol, but a mirror of your soul's lessons and gifts. The morning glory teaches you about presence. Just as its bloom exists only in a particular moment of the day, you too are invited to savor life as it unfolds rather than chasing what lies ahead or dwelling on what has already passed. You are reminded that beauty, joy, and meaning often live in the now, in the sunrise over your morning coffee, in the laughter shared with a friend, in the stillness of a quiet evening. For you, happiness is not about grand achievements or distant horizons but about weaving meaning into each fleeting moment. The flower also speaks to your relationship with time. As a Libra with the influence of the number 7, you often find yourself contemplating larger questions. What is the purpose of life? Where does meaning come from? The morning glory suggests that meaning is not something found only at the end of the journey, but something experienced along the way. It reminds you that the brevity of a moment does not make it less valuable. In fact, it is the very impermanence of moments that makes them sacred. In relationships, the morning glory influences your approach to love and companionship. You may be someone who cherishes small gestures, the touch of a hand, the quiet words before sleep, the unspoken understanding shared in a glance. To you, love is built not on grand declarations but on the consistency of daily presence. The flower teaches that even if beauty fades, the memory of tenderness lingers, and that relationships thrive when both partners recognize the magic of everyday moments. The morning glory is also associated with resilience. Though its bloom is short-lived, the vine itself is persistent, climbing, twisting, and finding light even in unexpected places. This reflects your own ability to adapt and persevere. Life may at times strip away illusions, leaving you with endings or losses, but like the morning glory, you find ways to grow again, to rise, and to reach for light no matter how dark the night before. Spiritually, this flower is seen as a guide to mindfulness and awakening. It urges you to pay attention, to notice the subtle, to embrace the fragile and temporary without fear. It whispers to you that nothing is promised, and yet everything is a gift. This is why many born on this date carry a quiet appreciation for beauty, whether in nature, art, music, or human connection. You intuitively know that beauty is not meant to be possessed, it is meant to be experienced. The morning glory also holds a hidden lesson in surrender. Just as the flower opens when the sun rises and closes when the time comes, you are asked to honor the natural rhythms of your life. Not every day can be filled with sunshine, and not every season will be abundant. But like your flower, you are strongest when you accept these cycles, trusting that even endings have their place in the greater pattern. Ultimately, the morning glory is your reminder that life is fragile yet magnificent, fleeting yet profound. It tells you to live fully, to love deeply, to forgive quickly, and to treasure the ordinary moments, for they are, in truth, extraordinary. Stone horoscope, sapphire. The sacred stone for those born in September is the sapphire, a gem that has captivated humanity for centuries with its deep blue fire. For souls born on September 25th, sapphire is not just a beautiful adornment, it is a spiritual companion, a talisman of wisdom, protection, and inner clarity. It aligns with both your Libra nature and your numerological vibration of 7, amplifying your gifts while shielding you from your vulnerabilities. Sapphire is often called the stone of wisdom, and for you, this title holds profound resonance. Your life is filled with questions, with the constant weighing of choices, with the search for deeper truths. At times, this can lead you into indecision or overthinking, a common challenge for Libras. The sapphire acts as a focusing lens, helping to cut through mental fog and sharpen your intuition so that you can make decisions with confidence. It encourages you to trust your inner knowing rather than becoming trapped in endless analysis. This gemstone also carries the energy of protection. In ancient traditions, sapphire was believed to shield its wearer from envy, lies, and harmful intentions. For someone like you, open-hearted, fair-minded, and often a magnet for others' needs, this protective quality is essential. It helps you maintain your boundaries, keeping negativity from seeping into your spirit, while allowing you to continue offering kindness without becoming drained. Spiritually, sapphire enhances your natural gifts of intuition and introspection. It is a stone that bridges the earthly and the divine, grounding your thoughts while opening your awareness to higher truths. For a September 25th soul, who often feels called to balance both the material and the metaphysical, sapphire becomes a guide on the path of integration. Through meditation or simply wearing the stone, you may feel more aligned with your higher self, more attuned to dreams, symbols, and subtle guidance from the universe. The sapphire's blue hue is not only a symbol of calm but also of communication. For you, whose gift lies in diplomacy and the art of words, this gem strengthens your ability to speak with clarity, honesty, and grace. It helps you express truths in a way that others can hear without defensiveness, a skill that serves you in relationships, friendships, and professional life alike. Historically, kings and priests wore sapphire as a sign of divine favor, believing it connected them to truth and justice. This ties directly into your own life path. As a Libra, you are naturally aligned with fairness and equity, and sapphire becomes your ally in living this mission. It anchors you in integrity, reminding you that beauty is fleeting if it is not rooted in authenticity. On a deeper level, the sapphire is a stone of serenity. It calms turbulent emotions, soothes anxiety, and brings balance when your mind races between extremes. This is particularly important for you, as your tendency to avoid conflict or overthink situations can sometimes create inner storms. The sapphire reminds you that peace is not the absence of choice but the clarity to make the right one. When you work with this stone, whether through jewelry, meditation, or simply keeping it close, you are aligning yourself with its timeless gifts. It becomes more than a crystal, it becomes a reminder of your own essence, wise yet gentle, intuitive yet balanced, graceful yet strong. In the end, the sapphire is not just your birthstone, it is your spiritual anchor. It empowers you to see clearly, to act with courage, and to walk your path with both protection and purpose. For the Libra born on September 25th, it is the gem that unlocks your inner vision and reminds you that the answers you seek are already within. Your legacy. When all is said and done, those born on September 25th leave behind far more than fleeting impressions or passing memories. You leave behind a resonance, a vibration of harmony, wisdom, and beauty that continues to echo in the lives of those you touch long after you are gone. Your legacy is not measured in possessions or accolades alone, but in the subtler, more enduring ways you alter the hearts and minds of the people around you. Those who have known you rarely remember the exact phrasing of your words, but they will never forget how they felt in your presence, safe, understood, uplifted, and inspired to believe in the possibility of balance in an often unbalanced world. Your legacy begins with the way you create harmony in places that lack it. As a Libra, balance is your gift and your calling, and you embody it not through perfection but through your ability to bring opposites into dialogue. Families torn by conflict remember the way you quietly guided them back to peace. Friends at odds recall how you helped them hear one another again. Colleagues speak of your knack for turning tension into cooperation. In every circle you enter, you plant the seed of unity, and though those seeds may take years to blossom, they carry your essence long after you depart. You also leave behind wisdom, though not the kind that is shouted or forced upon others. Your wisdom is subtle, woven into stories, small insights, and the gentle way you ask questions that open new perspectives. People will remember you as the one who saw through the noise and asked what truly mattered. You do not simply give answers, you awaken answers in others. This is part of your power, and it shapes your legacy into one of mentorship and guidance, even if you never saw yourself as a teacher. Beauty is another strand of what you leave behind. Not only the external beauty you may create through art, design, or aesthetics, but also the inner beauty of fairness, kindness, and authenticity. People will remember the way you noticed the small details others overlooked, the way you paused to admire a flower, the way you cherished a thoughtful gesture, the way you found elegance in simplicity. Through your appreciation of beauty, you remind others that life is more than struggle, it is also grace. Your life is a dance, and in that dance lies the story of your legacy. You move between diplomacy and discovery, never content with only one. Diplomacy ensures you build bridges, heal divides, and create harmony. Discovery fuels your curiosity, your hunger to understand the mysteries of existence, your refusal to settle for shallow truths. Those who knew you best will remember this duality, the way you could mediate a conflict in the afternoon and then lose yourself in a book of philosophy by evening, as though you carried both the outer world and the inner cosmos within you. Love and solitude form another rhythm in your dance. You are capable of deep, soulful connections, yet you also require moments of retreat, times when solitude nourishes you and refuels your spirit. This balance between connection and withdrawal becomes part of your story. Loved ones will remember both the warmth of your presence and the wisdom of your absences, recognizing that you taught them that love is not about constant closeness but about authenticity, being fully present when you are there and honoring the need for space when you are not. Beauty and truth form yet another pair in your dance. You are not satisfied with surface-level charm, you seek authenticity beneath appearances. Your legacy reflects this pursuit, for you show others that true beauty is not about perfection but about honesty, fairness, and grace. People remember you not for being flawless, but for being real, for embodying the courage to balance elegance with truth. And perhaps the most profound aspect of your legacy comes from the union of your Libra identity and the mystical vibration of the number 7. The Libra in you brings charm, diplomacy, artistry, and the instinct to connect. The 7 in you brings depth, intuition, spirituality, and the hunger for meaning. Together, they form a destiny unlike any other, the destiny of being both the peacemaker and the seeker, the artist and the philosopher, the diplomat and the mystic. When you embrace both sides fully, you become more than a person navigating life, you become a beacon. That beacon is what you leave to the world. Your legacy is the reminder that balance is not a myth, that harmony is not weakness, that beauty and truth can coexist, and that a single soul, when aligned with authenticity, can inspire countless others. You are remembered not only for what you did but for what you represented, the possibility of living with both grace and depth, with both elegance and courage. In the end, your legacy is this: to be remembered as a presence that brought steadiness where there was chaos, light where there was division, and inspiration where there was doubt. Long after your footsteps have faded, the balance you embodied continues to ripple outward, touching lives in ways you may never fully see. You become part of the collective memory not just as an individual but as a symbol, a living example of what it means to walk between worlds, between diplomacy and discovery, between love and solitude, between beauty and truth. And in that balance, you leave behind your true destiny, to be a beacon in a world that desperately needs your light. If you enjoyed this journey into the cosmos of your birthday, make sure to like this video, subscribe for more deep dives into astrology and numerology, and check the links in the description for more resources. And remember, your destiny isn't written in stone. The stars guide, but you choose the path.